So today is the first podcast that I've actually recorded live, because fortunately I'm able to have today's guest, Mr. Kasra Dash, live in the office. So it's an opportunity for us to record a video as well. So Kasra, thank you for coming along.
Thanks for having me.
No worries. So a bit of a background about Kasra before we go into anything is he's been in this industry for a couple of years now, done a couple of stints in a couple of different agencies down south. Currently works for a good friend of mine, James Dooley, at Promo SEO. So I'm sure that's fun and games in there.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions first and foremost. Obviously, not dissing anywhere you've worked, but it must be quite a bit of fun working in Dooley's office.
Yeah, it's a bit different to what I was working before at like the agency, so definitely different vibe.
Different vibe. Does any work actually get done in Dooley's office?
See, a lot of people ask us this, but yeah.
Nah, I've seen him. To be fair, I've seen him. I've walked into his office a couple of times, and I've seen him with a whiteboard out, giving the staff some of his.
He loves his drawings.
His drawings, yeah. But the truth is, I don't think he's very good at the drawings. Anything I've seen up there is barely readable. But he does. He puts a lot of time and effort in, and I think he has a different working environment to probably what I would imagine most other people. Hopefully similar to what I've got as well. I don't want to have a typical office where it's very strict, very rigid. You know, we have games of table tennis and fuck around and, you know, try and look forward to having a wee tournament on a Friday and stuff like that, just to break the work up, because it's obviously a very boring job. So I would imagine Dooley likes similar.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a lot more like laid back than actual like proper agencies, if that makes sense, because we've not got like any clients and stuff like that. It's all our own sites, so it's just like a lot more chilled.
I know, I can imagine. I think when you've got clients and stuff, obviously reporting to them and stuff's where a lot of the pain and the stress comes from. So how does it work then, obviously working for someone like Dooley who has lead gen, who has affiliate websites? Does he really require you guys to do any reporting at all? Do you, what are you measured on?
I think most of our reporting is more what we test. So like if you're working in an agency, you might get like handed like 10, 15 SOPs, and it's like every day go in and do this, and then this. But when you're working with like James, it's more like you just test, and then if it's working, then you'll like actually do it on a live site, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different to like an actual proper agency.
So it's just a lot of testing, basically.
Yeah, a lot more testing, like listening to like what everyone says, taking in like 2 or 3 people's words, and then testing off what they've done, and then seeing if it works for you.
That makes sense. It seems to be a good way to work. But do you ever fear that you do too much tests?
Yeah, but we have like cut back on a lot of this stuff. Like we don't listen to what everyone says anymore, if that makes sense. We'll like pick out maybe 2 or 3 people that their tests have worked in the past for us, and then we'll like do 3 or 4 more tests of what they've said.
No, as I say, very smart way of working, and I think having that kind of working environment is very, very different, and I think it'll obviously stand you in good stead rather than do your day-to-day client reporting and stuff. It must be a big change to then just getting in and working and when you're doing testing and maybe it's things like your opinion taken into consideration there. Like if you say, Dooley, I think that's some bullshit with that test there, I want to try this, try that. Is he open to?
Oh yeah, definitely. So he always does say, like, if he comes up with like an idea, for example, he always does say like challenge me on it, if that makes sense. So like it's not just my word or the highway, basically.
Yeah.
So you always do have a chance of like challenging it, and then at the end of the day, it's a test. So like what he says might be wrong, what I say might be wrong as well, if that makes sense.
I think it's a good healthy environment then to work in, where it's not my way or the highway. I think in terms of, me personally, sometimes I like to let my guys go to take them to Brighton SEO, or I'll take them to meetups and stuff like that with me, purely so that they can hear other people's points of view and perspectives and talk to other people, because it's not always about what I think's right. I think it's good and healthy to be able to have opinion and debate and other people's points. So again, I think that's, and I know Dooley personally anyway, so I know he is the type of guy that would be open to a bit of criticism and a bit of a barney about, or a bit of a whatever you want to call it, about a subject. And
I probably have debates with him every day about some, it might not be even about SEO, it might just be about other stuff, like how a website is designed, but probably regularly have debates about certain stuff with him.
But obviously for you getting in there, obviously you're a typical white boy, if you like, from Scotland, that can handle a bit of a ribbon, bit of abuse, whatever that you're going to get in that type of office environment. Do you think that type of office environment is suitable for everyone? I know you've obviously got females and stuff down there, but does it take a special type of guy to work in that type of office? Because I would imagine, sometimes the air turns blue if things don't go well, and chairs are getting thrown about, and maybe not quite as bad as that, but is that type of office environment suitable for everyone, or do you reckon it's...
I don't think any chairs have been thrown about yet. It definitely isn't for anyone that can't take criticism. You need to be able to take criticism well, especially constructive criticism, I'd say. If you're going to take everything to heart, then it's not the perfect office for you, I'd say.
No, because it's just, obviously in this industry we get a lot of people who are introverts, maybe shy, not outgoing, and I can just pick, even in my own office as well. When we interview people, we're like, we cannot have that person in this office, because they will literally crumble in 5 minutes with, if something doesn't go well and we lose the rag a bit and shout and swear and stuff. Obviously no one ever gets hurt or anything like that, but I think sometimes the air turns blue with the language that's used, and I just get the same vibe from
I'd probably agree with what you're saying, to be fair, because I recently done 2 interviews for developers, and they were both proper introverts, fresh out of high school or college or something like that, and they would not have fit well in the office. So it does make recruitment hard. Yeah,
because you're looking for a
certain
type,
niche, a certain type.
But you've got the right balance down there as well. I mean, you've got the last time I was down there, maybe I think you said about 8, 10, something like that in there. There was a couple of girls. I know Dan.
I think there's about 8, 9.
8, 9. So you've got a good mix down there, but they're all kind of young as well. But have you fitted in well with that crowd?
Oh yeah, definitely. The previous agency that I was at, it was more I think I was the youngest in the office at one point at the previous agency, but now I'm they're all my age basically.
Yeah.
So
is there a lot of partying going on down there?
Oh no.
Nah?
No, just testing.
No nights out? Nah?
Nights out, I think, a couple.
Yeah. I went on a night out once, actually.
What, with Dooley?
With Dooley, and there was we had all the crazy guys here, Charles and all that stuff, and it was a mastermind we were down for. We ended up in the club down the end of the street, Symposium or something like that.
Oh yeah.
That was it was a great night out. Great. I think we ended up in a few pubs for something to eat first, and then we ended up in Symposium.
Yeah, that's a decent place.
Decent place. So it was a great night out down there. We had a good laugh. Hopefully I'll be back down in a couple of weeks' time, and we can go for a beer down there. I like Wilmslow. It's a cool place. But you're not staying in Wilmslow, are you? You stay outside Manchester?
Yeah, I stay in Lee.
In Lee. Yeah. So how long is that in the morning?
40 minutes, probably.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah. So you've got yourself a house down there. You're settled. I take it there's no plans to move about anytime soon?
Nah, probably not.
Stay there for a few years, see what happens. So obviously, this is my perception, and obviously I don't speak to you day in, day out and all that stuff, but my perception prior to you going to work for Dooley was you were more of a kind of web developer, kind of geeky guy that was into all
Wouldn't
that
say
CSS
geeky.
stuff. Stuff is geeky to me. Is that still the same kind of route you're in, or are you trying to evolve more into SEO?
I'd probably say I'm definite. I've not shied away from doing web development at all, but I have offloaded some of it. So like, if it's going to take me like absolutely ages, I'd probably just like get a VA on it and stuff like that. But I've probably moved more into SEO. So yeah, you are probably right in saying that.
So you're switching, and is that long term what you want to do, just SEO to hell with the web design? Or are you still going to dabble in both?
I'll probably still dabble in both, but more SEO.
So what sort of tasks are you do? What sort of things are you doing on a day-to-day basis in there? Is it more tech stuff? Or?
Yeah, technical SEO probably, yeah. Like, I think the first day that I walked in, I'd done an audit and there was like 14,000 errors just on one site. So you can imagine there's quite a fair bit to do.
Yeah. So I'm imagining that Dooley's going to get a hold of you, do the audits, and you're just going to be the guy that goes through and fixes all the kind of technical, compressed stuff, whatever it might be.
I'll probably do the audit, show someone how to fix all the fixes, and then they'll probably get on and do it. And then I'll probably move on to like the next site. So
you're just the auditing guy. Yeah. You just push the audit button and delegate.
Just one button, delegate.
Easy job if you can get away with it. But I know Dooley always talks about scale and all that kind of stuff, and he always talks about his staff being middle managers that do things and then instruct someone else to do it. Is that essentially what you're doing?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, we're still scaling out loads and loads of sites. We probably had about 10, 15 sites in the past 2-3 weeks go up live. So like, we are still scaling loads and loads, but it's just, if it's something repetitive, there's no point in me really doing it, if that makes sense. When you can hire like a VA for like $25 for a day.
It makes perfect sense to do that. And I think that, if anything, that's one thing that Dooley has probably taught me over the years, is to value your time, and you know, if something is, you know, something you can scale out for X amount of money per day and your time's more valuable than that, then why the hell would you be doing that, you know? So
it just makes sense it just makes perfect sense to just get a VA on it or hire someone.
Plus, none of us like doing any work anyway. It's quite good to just do an audit and just say, right, fuck this. There's 14,000 problems here, go and fix them. But someone's got to do the donkey work, and if you can get it done at a low cost and you're working at scale, as you say, if you're launching, you know, X amount of websites every month, and again, I know Dooley's not one guy that has a couple of websites there, he's got his finger in every pie, but we'll not talk too much about what he's got and what he's not got. It wouldn't be fair to do that. So enough about Dooley and his, by the way, his office is pretty cool. What's it like balcony? To have the balcony?
Yeah, it's nice.
Do you guys just chill out there, hot summer's day, beer?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Like, I to be fair, I didn't actually go out in the balcony that much because I don't need the tan. But the rest of the team do, like on their lunch breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's quite a cool office. But obviously what you've probably, or what I would imagine you've picked up a lot on working in that environment, is the kind of contacts, you know, the masterminds. Guys like you would never get in a mastermind without working there. It's not as if someone's going to phone you up and say, come to this mastermind, because they are always 10 people, you know, sit between 7 and 10, maybe at a push 15, but they're not something that any old Tom, Dick and Harry gets an invite to. So what's that been like for you, if you enjoyed the ones you've been to?
Yeah, so I think I've been at 3, including Charles's in Birmingham. But like, all 3 of them, to be fair, like, you just pick up so much stuff, and it's not always like SEO as well. You might pick up stuff about business, like how to sell, and like, it's just all sorts of stuff that you just learn from all different types of people that attend.
So what would be your favourite mastermind?
Probably the Jersey one. Surprisingly, it's the one that you've not been to.
Yeah, all the masterminds that I don't go to end up the best. Just like when I seen the lads there in Chiang Mai, it's the best ever Chiang Mai ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Always is, isn't it? But yeah, I've not made Jersey yet. I think I was on holiday in the first one, and then the second one I just came back from a month in America.
Yeah.
So dates just didn't suit.
What was
But
that like, America?
America was good, man.
Yeah.
Nice place, good people, different way of working. They automate a lot more than we do. They're a lot more devious than we probably give them credit for. So, it was good, but not as good as the Jersey Mastermind. Nah, I don't know about that, but the Jersey Mastermind, I will get along to more of the masterminds. I think I've done a lot of speaking this year, and I'm going to cut back. I don't think I have to do as many.
Is that something that you wanted to do at the start of the year?
Nah, not really. You just kind of get roped in. So
No, right.
people say, do you fancy coming here? And you're like, fuck it. I've not been there before, so I'll do it. And then another one, then another one, then another one. Before you know it, you've done 20 or 30 of them, and you're like, fuck. And, I literally feel as if this year has just flown by, and I'm waking up, and it's November, and you're like, fuck. So it's... I want to do a lot more masterminds. I think as you say, there's a lot of value at them. You can sit with a much smaller audience and pick people's brains as well. So for me, masterminds are good because when I go to a conference and I talk, it's all about me talking, and I don't really get to pick anyone else's brains. And so I'm not always learning. It depends. Some conferences you do and you meet guys at the bar and that, but I think there's a lot more value at the masterminds. And as I say, I don't know everything, so it's good for me to also get a bit back as well, which is why I enjoy the masterminds and stuff. But I don't think I've been to a mastermind. I came to the Charles's one in Birmingham, but I think that was the only mastermind I got to this year. And I'm not even going to get to this one that you're having on the 2nd of December, or whenever it is. So
don't know the exact date.
I thought it was a wind up. To be fair, I didn't even know there was a mastermind. I just seen the messages saying that Gary.
Yeah, message Gary Wilson.
Gary Wilson was organising it, and I played along with it. I just thought it was a joke, and I think I shared what Dooley said. Contact Gary to get an invite, and I think Gary was cussing and swearing, saying "you bastards," because he had literally hundreds of people saying, I want to come.
Really?
So, so we need to stop throwing those messages about. So it took him a few days to go through them all, and he does.
Was he actually replying to them as well? Jeez.
Definitely. So, but masterminds are good if you get the opportunity to go. I think you can get a lot of value there and pick up a lot of tips from guys, as you say, not necessarily always SEO, the business things, maybe you find out something in the accountancy side of things that you've not been doing or whatever. And I think that's where there's a lot of value in. And I think obviously for someone like you, who's new to the industry, who's always constantly looking for something to learn, these are the best places for you. So I think you've obviously won a watch by somehow falling lucky, being hired at a meetup. This is the guy that actually got hired at a meetup. Gareth had a meetup in Liverpool just so you know the ins and outs, and Kaz came along, and we're like, come along, it should be a good laugh, and somehow ended up getting a job out of it.
7 months later.
7 months later, got a house, and got his feet well and truly under the table in promo SEO, and been to other stuff as well, Brighton and all that. It takes you to Brighton and stuff as well.
Yeah, we went to Brighton. We went to the first one in, is it April? First one.
Aye.
We went to that one, and then been to Charles's, and then 2 Jerseys as well.
So you're getting a fair few paid trips.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I've paid for some of them myself. we won't go into the details.
But you're still getting to learn and develop, which is good. And as I say, I think that's really important for somebody of your age and obviously your experience level, something you just have to keep doing. Because I think a lot of guys go into agencies and they don't get that opportunity to go out to all the events and stuff, or they maybe only get to go to Brighton SEO on a yearly basis or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's always your best bet if you want to learn. I think you need to be going to a wee bit more than that. But out of all the events you've went to then, out with the mastermind, obviously counting the masterminds, is it still Jersey, still the best one for you?
Probably.
Or do you prefer the conferences better?
The conferences is like, you get a different vibe because someone else is talking. So like, the issue you've got with conferences is you don't know who's talking shit.
Yeah.
So you can't really eliminate like the shit talkers, so you can't question them. But in like masterminds, when it was like Charles's or like the Jersey one or whichever, like even probably Diggy's ones as well, you'd be able to question people, so you'd be able to like filter out all the bullshit.
Yeah. I think even at the likes of Chiang Mai and all that, you can literally say to a guy, hang on a minute. I don't I don't understand that there. Like, can you repeat that or show me again? Or I tried that and it never worked for me or whatever, and then pick it apart and get a resolution out of it, which is what you want anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's good to hear that that's all going well. Out with that, you seem to have a keen interest in affiliate stuff. You're always asking questions about it. Is that something you're going to dabble in the future? Or are you dabbling already?
Already. Yeah. So I've been working with Dooley on like 4 affiliate sites. So now I'm working on a couple of my own as well. So just recently started that in the past month, basically just setting it all up in the back end, like how I want it. So I'm not spending loads and loads of times like creating tables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is a proper pain in the neck when you go to when you go to affiliate sites.
Yeah. So what type of affiliate is it? Is it Amazon, private affiliate?
Private stuff.
Private stuff. Yeah. So if others are listening to this, obviously I don't know if Dooley does any Amazon, but obviously you'll know people who do Amazon, you know people who do private stuff, you know people that do this, that and the next thing. What made you choose private? What are the benefits of private?
It was, to be fair, it was mainly the actual rates of the commission. So I just looked at Amazon, looked at private, I was like, nah, stuff that. I'm doing private. I like more money, so if you can get more money with the same amount of visitors, why not go for private?
100%. I think obviously Amazon, might be here today, might not be there tomorrow. They've dropped the commission a couple of times in the past few years, I believe.
Dropped it in April, I want to say, last. And then they dropped it again in September, I think. God
knows. I've only been doing Amazon for a year. I've always done private affiliate stuff. I just think, as you say, the commissions are a lot better. But I wanted to do the golf site as more of a test for myself as well. But I think obviously commission wise and stuff to get X amount of hits per month and to get a crummy little commission is not the best use of anyone's time or effort. But I was just curious to know what the deciding factor was. Obviously affiliate commission.
I think there's always going to be pros and cons, to be fair. Like with Amazon, you might convert really well as opposed to having private. So they've all got their pros and cons, really.
But they all work the same, right? It's affiliate link and a nice website, nice table, whatever the hell you're trying to sell. So it make perfect sense. Whether you get 8% with Amazon or 20% with whatever, the same amount of work is in. So I think obviously you're making a wise move.
Yeah.
By not that Amazon is not a good thing to do. Obviously you have to work at scale. And I think for me going forward, I'm looking to maybe get Amazon websites and flip them onto private affiliate websites and monetizing it better that way, and then flipping them on for a bigger profit. So that's something I'm considering when I get more time, basically. But so you just doing these things at night time?
Yeah.
on
So
your
like
own.
evenings, weekends, stuff like that.
And are you still following the same methods that Dooley would do in his office where you're outsourcing like the content and stuff like that? Or are you doing that yourself now? Or
What do you mean, as in like using the same vendors and stuff?
yeah.
Or yeah.
No, but so you are outsourcing it though. You're
Oh
not,
yeah.
aye. So you're not sitting there like,
I'm still managing it, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So like, I know I need this, and this.
But it's the same process as
Yeah,
if you were doing it for Dooley in the office as you would do for yourself. You still
I've
outsource.
tweaked a few things that I feel like he's doing wrong on his side. So then I'm doing it a little bit better. But then again, it's just another test.
Yeah,
If it's wrong in 6 months' time, I'll probably change it.
yeah. You going to share what that is? You don't
Um,
have to.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe at the
Maybe
end.
at the end. Keep them tuned in.
Yeah, Dooley, come back and we'll tell you where you're going wrong. But it's quite good that you're taking that on and tweaking it for yourself as well, and maybe doing your own thing as well. Because there's nothing to suggest that everything the way that Dooley or myself or anyone else for that matter does it is the exact right and best way of doing things. So once you've got your affiliate empire up and that makes money, you still, what does the career, is it eventually to go and just be an affiliate marketer, or is it going to be, what do you see yourself doing in say 5 years time?
Retired on a beach.
Retired on a beach.
Nah, to be fair, I reckon I'd be so bored if I was retired. Like
Yeah.
if I had nothing to do. To be fair, I probably would just be like just doing the same thing. Like I genuinely think I'd miss not doing SEO, if that makes sense.
But would it still be in Dooley's office? Do you want to go freelance? Do you want to run your own agency? Do you want to just be the digital nomad that some of these guys are doing, traveling the world? Once you're fully developed
Yeah,
and learned everything.
probably just like a mix between in Dooley's office and just traveling, because like I don't like staff, don't like hiring, so it would
Aye,
just be the mix.
that's good. It's good to have a place to go in and bounce ideas off of people. I think Jason Morris and all that still go into Dooley's office, don't they?
Yeah.
So a couple of days a week do they go in?
Yeah, I think it's like every 2 days, every week.
Yeah. I think it's good for them, obviously, to get out the house as well and do their own stuff. So it's good that Dooley allows people just to come in and out as they see. It's quite a cool option to have. Not that he's ever invited me in, but
You're always welcome, mate.
Aye. So he says that as well. But when I ask him, I'm coming down, the old phone goes quiet and all that stuff. No one replies to my messages. So do you pick up stuff from the likes of Jason Morris as well? Are you sitting listening to these guys in the office? And
See, I don't really dabble with links that much. Like, I know about them, but there's probably like Dan and stuff like that in the office probably know way more than me. So I'll just push him towards Jason and be like, just listen in on what he says. I don't need to learn about
so
that.
you're just like, to hell with that link crap. I'm not
like
involved.
Yeah.
I think you're probably doing the right thing. You don't want to learn too much about everything. Starts to confuse you, and if it's not your bag either, and you were always going to outsource it, then what the hell's the point in understanding pitch box
exactly.
and all the stuff that goes behind it? Seems like a lot of hard work to me. When I'm in the same boat as most others, I'd rather just pay a guy to do it. It's
That's the easy option.
easy way out, aye. But don't get me wrong, for years and years and years about PBNs and fucking every link trick under the book, I was doing it. It was all done myself, and as I say now, I just look and go, what the hell were you doing, man? This is an insane way of working, and aye. But
how many PBNs do you think you've built?
Oh, thousands
Really?
over the years, yeah. But PBNs were big years and years and years ago, so every single day of the week we would literally rattle out PBNs just as link assets. The business probably wasn't really although it was called an SEO agency, it was more just build fucking PBNs all day, every day. Everything was geared around that, so that was back in the day when exact match domain names worked well and all of that kind of stuff. And I had an unhealthy obsession with buying, like Plumbers Glasgow, Builders Glasgow. So if the phone went with an inquiry of a guy saying, listen, I do boiler repairs in Glasgow, could bet your bottom dollar whether that guy signed up or not, I was buying every fucking boiler repair domain name in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen, Inverness, Scotland, the whole lot. So, and sometimes I would even go as far as buying Manchester, London, Birmingham, the full works. So, and that was just me getting an inquiry. That was no one fucking committing anything. So, it's no wonder my agency model didn't do that well. It's bankrupting as with just my domain purchases. But I used to rent them out and all that stuff as well. So, that was when you could slap up a page of content and the fucking thing would rank without any links.
If only it was that easy nowadays.
I know, I wish it was. But as I say, it worked well at the time, and before I knew it, I had a big bunch of fucking PBNs, and I didn't even know I was building PBNs at that point. And then it was just a case of just keep building on top and building on top, and then before you know it, you've got this unmanageable mess. Templates all blown up, just cheap, crappy things. Then the mobile friendly stuff came out, and you had to get a plug-in to make them all mobile friendly, and it all started to then fall apart.
How many domains do you think you own?
Don't get me wrong, I've cut a lot of it back down. I've probably got about 1,000 now. But over the years, I've had tens of thousands of domain names. Literally, I'd probably say I had tens of thousands of domain names, and I would probably also say that 75% of them never had a fucking website on them. I never get round to putting a website in them all. So I waste a lot of money on it, and still to this day, if I see a good domain name, I buy it, and I still not done stuff with it and stuff like that. But I say the PBN thing was just, it was the wild west. People were just chucking up any old shit. And
how many years ago was that?
When all that, what, probably about 2008, 2009, 2010.
Probably would have been in high school then.
Yeah.
No, primary school.
So, aye. Yeah, it was back then. 1&1 was the place to buy your domain names, and
I still use them today.
do you?
Yeah.
Oh, they're awful, man. Absolutely awful. I had a wee problem with them actually the other day. I had a domain name that I've had since, it was about 2011 actually, and it expired, and I forgot I had 1&1 because I thought I transferred everything away. And this was a guy, I gave this guy this domain name years ago, and his website just went down, and he's like, I fucking lost my domain name. And yeah, I had a big fight with 1&1 to try and get it back. I just completely forgot I had an account with them. And but yeah, they're still kicking about, still charging people money, and don't get me wrong, they were good domain register, but just didn't like the fact that their servers were in Germany and stuff, so I never ever used their hosting services or anything, and I've never been a fan of their support teams either. Just never get anybody that can speak.
I think I've started using Cloudways, and their support team's decent.
Cloudways, I've not actually used Cloudways. I've had a few people recommending them. I use SiteGround, TSO Host, and a couple others.
Right.
But I've never really done
Cloudways, I've literally got to the point where I'm like, I just press a button, and then I tell the guy on tech support to transfer the site to their server, so it's proper easy. Delegation
again.
Yeah.
Just tell the guy. Does he charge you for it?
No.
So Cloudways is a good.
That's a little trick.
A good place for free labour. So before we finish up, we can't have a podcast or a webinar or whatever you're going to call this without some knowledge nappies. Now, Kasra is famous for regurgitating other people's knowledge bombs.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
So, have you got any for us today?
I do, but I need to double check the domain that it's on. I'll literally give out the full domain.
Check it now.
Right, one sec.
I'll look forward to this.
Right, okay. So, this site has tanked, however, they're using BT backlinks. Right, are you familiar with BT search?
No.
Right, so BT and I think it's AVG that they used to do security and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So they use the Google API for their search, right? But you can build backlinks to the SERP, so you can build tier 2s to their SERP. So say, for example, you're doing, I don't know, like you basically just put in your keyword into like BT search, you build tier 2s to the BT search and get a DR92 do follow link to your site. So that's probably the biggest snook.
So DR92 backlink.
I think it's like
from BT.
It's BT, AVG, and one other site that's doing it. It's basically any site that's using the Google API search.
Right, so let me get this right. Explain this to me, to a simpleton like me. How am I getting that link on that BT thing? So what do I do? So I go into BT.
So your site obviously needs to be indexed by BT search, right? Mm-hmm. Then you build a tier 2 to that SERP. So like, you know, on Google, it's like google.com/search. Then it's like fucking 40 characters long.
Yeah.
BT search has that as well. So you just build tier 2s to that.
Right.
And then you get a DR like 90 or 92 do follow link. And it's basically classed as a Google link because it's using the Google API.
Nice. Who told you that?
Can't tell you that. Nah, I honestly had come across that myself. But again,
so
if
you're
you
laying
want
credit. So anyone listening to this, he's taking all the credit for this. I'm just curious to know who's going to take the real credit for it.
No, it's honestly me.
Is there any other ones you want to share?
Nah, that's it. But again, if you go to xbombo.com, run it through Ahrefs or SEMrush, and then you'll be able to see they're doing it. They have tanked since then, so yeah.
So, if that website's tanked by using this strategy,
I don't know, do it at your own risk.
So this DR92 might not be very good for you. Is this maybe a negative SEO tactic?
Don't know, you're going to have to test it, mate.
Gonna have to test. What a fucking shite knowledge bomb this is. Come on, give us something good. You can't get off the fucking... What was that? That's a pish tactic. Right, come on. Give us something good. Something just reliable that doesn't tank a website.
I don't know. Wait. Reciprocal internal linking. There we go.
Reciprocal internal linking. So what does that do?
Just fucking helps your silos.
It just helps your silos.
Just helps your silos rank like fuck. Try it. Get back to him.
Try it. Get back to him. Give him abuse if he's talking shit. Or thank him very kindly and send him...
You'll be thanking me for both of them.
For both of them.
For
tanking people's websites with BT links. But thank you very much, Kasra, for joining. It's been a pleasure to have you on, and hopefully people have enjoyed some of the stuff that you've had to share, and obviously the background of your story. So hopefully the success continues, and we'll maybe get you back on in the future and see if you've got any real knowledge bombs this time.